Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mina, and today's video is going to be something very interesting. You will be able to see how this goes. I still don't know how this is gonna go. I am going to be doing a week where I wake up at 5 in the morning and I read for an hour instead of being on my phone. So if you haven't not been a watcher of this channel, I typically wake up at 5 a.m. when I have work, so that's Monday through Friday. I'm up at 5 anyways, but I typically sit on my phone and I will scroll through social media, or I'll go work out or do something else of the sort, or just laze around or press news a million and one times. So I thought it would be really interesting if I don't get on my phone first thing in the morning and instead decide to read for an hour every day from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. or like 5:30 to 6:30. Between the time I get up and like wash my face, make myself a little bit presentable, I'm sure it'll be like 5:15, 5:30. It'll just be that I wake up and the first thing that I do is read for an hour. On the weekends, obviously, that is not going to be 5 a.m. It'll be whatever time I decide to wake up early for a weekend, which would probably be like 7 or 8 a.m. Very excited to see how this goes. I've seen a bunch of people do this video and I thought I might as well give it a try because I'm already up at 5 in the morning anyways. But recently I've been slacking and pressing snooze, and I feel like this will bring me a little bit out of it. So I'm gonna try it, see how it goes. Don't know how many books I can finish if I'm just reading like 6 hours if I film 6 days, but very interested to see how this pans out. So I guess let's find out together. I don't like filming myself when I just woke up, guys, but here we are. It is the first day of this challenge. It is Sunday. I don't know if you can see me, but it is 7:35 a.m. and I know I said that this would be like a 5 a.m. vlog usually, and it will be, but today is Sunday and I didn't want to wake up at 5 in the morning. So I am doing 7:30, or from whenever I finish this clip until an hour later because it is Sunday, and then the rest of the week we'll do the 5 a.m. because I have work and I actually do have to be up at 5 to do this video. Otherwise it's gonna be a fail. So like I said, I'm gonna set a hour timer on my phone and I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna read for an hour and we'll see how that goes. The first book that I will be starting with is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and it's adapted by Sam Maggs and illustrated by Gabby Nam. And yeah, this is volume 1 and it's a little graphic novel, so this will be very easy to read. I don't know if I'm going to be done with this volume by the end of the hour, but if not, then I'll probably be done by it tomorrow, and then we'll see where I go from there. But that's future me's problem. I'm still very much half asleep. I didn't want to make coffee because I will have coffee later on in the day, so I just decided we're just gonna raw dog this challenge and we're just gonna read. So yeah, I'm gonna get off here now and I'm gonna sit and read for an hour. This is gonna be very interesting. left. I just finished the Fangirl Volume 1. I'm obviously giving this one 5 stars. Love it. I'm gonna give you the rating and thoughts on this a little bit later once I'm a little bit more cohesive, but since I have another like 10-ish minutes, I'm going to start with Fangirl Volume 2 just because I have it, and I figure why not just continue on with the rest of the story. So I'll probably be done with this in the next hour tomorrow. This is what I'm going to pick up next. It is 8:37 and I am on page 52 of volume 2 of Fangirl, and that's where I'm going to stop today. Let's talk about my rating for this book. So I'm giving this one, I think I said I was going to give it 5 stars, but I think I'm going to give it 4 stars because as much as I adore it, it's not really anything special to the point where I feel like I want to give it 5 stars because it's not anything crazy. Like I thought about the books that I usually give 5 stars to, and this one does not feel like that, and so I'm just going to give it 4 stars. It's still really fun. It's fun to be back in this world, to read the story from an adult's point of view, because the first time that I read this, I believe I was maybe 16 or 17 years old and I wasn't in college, and these characters felt super grown to me even though that they're 19 years old, and now I'm reading it in the eyes of a person who was older than the characters, so it feels a little bit weird, a little bit strange, but in the best way, because I get to like I remember the way that I felt when I read them as a younger person, and reading them now as an adult person is like a completely different thing. I still feel the same about some of the things that happen in here and some of the characters. By the way, if you don't know what this is about a girl who has a twin. Their names are Kath and Ren, and they are going to college, and Kath is like this quiet girl. Her thing, I guess, is that she writes Simon and Baz fanfiction, which is basically like Harry Potter, but a person is like a chosen one and one is a vampire. Her fanfic is very popular, but they're going into college, both Kath and Ren, and Ren doesn't want to live with Kath even though they're twins and they've been together for their whole lives and they've shared everything their whole lives, and Kath is struggling with that, and she's finding it really hard to live on her own and like find her place in college and like where she stands, I guess, as an adult and as a person. So reading that from a person who had never gone to college and reading it now as a person who graduated college is a very different experience, but I still adore it nonetheless, and I'm excited to finish volume 2 tomorrow. So 4 stars, loved it, and I'm so happy to be back in this world. It feels like a comforting hug. Today was really easy, but that's because it's Sunday, so I have the rest of the day, but tomorrow I fear might be a little bit more questionable. successfully finished the hour of reading this morning. It is later on in the day because I had to get ready for work after I finished filming. And after I finished reading, I had like a half hour to get ready for work, so I didn't end up updating you about what I did. But as you saw, I did end up finishing Fangirl Volume 2, which ended up on a cliffhanger. And I totally forgot about that plotline happening, but I immediately went and put Volume 3 and 4 in my waiting list in the library, and I'm ready. The minute that they tell me that it's ready for pickup, I'm gonna be there reading them at the library before I even leave the library, because that's how much I need to know what's going to happen. I love this book so much, and I love the story, and I also really enjoy the fact that they have snippets of Simon and Baz from the Carry On fanfic that Kath writes, because I really enjoy seeing them animated or like seeing them drawn out, because I feel like I care more about them seeing them drawn out versus when I did read the book, the actual Fangirl book, because I honestly skipped most of those Carry On chapters. Not sorry, I didn't care about them, but now in this one, I'm looking forward to them and looking forward to reading them. So that's something that came out with this one, and I finished this one. I think I had, I don't know, like 160, 70 pages left of it when I finished the hour yesterday. So I just ended up finishing this one. And then I picked up this one, which is called Ruined. And it's also a graphic novel. And this one is by Sarah Winifred Searle, and Nick Smith. And it's basically like a Bridgerton retelling in like, I don't know, I don't want any questionable panels to show up. It's basically like just a drawn out Bridgerton redo. Basically, it's about this girl who is basically ruined because rumors go out about her being promiscuous before and like losing her virtue before getting married to somebody. So she ends up marrying this guy who's a widow, I believe, and they get together, and she just has to be in this arranged marriage, and apparently she could learn to love him, because the tagline is, could falling in love with her husband tear her marriage apart? So I don't know if this is like a volumated, if that's even a word. I don't know if there's volumes of this one, but it was recommended to me on the library website, and so I just ended up putting it in my cart because nobody else was waiting on it in line, and I was like, I might as well. It's really entertaining, really fun, really easy to read, really quick, and I feel like I'll definitely be finishing this tomorrow and then picking up something else, which will not be a graphic novel. But if I do finish this tomorrow, which I will, it will be the third book that I finish in this video, which is crazy because I feel like I haven't done that if it's not a 24-hour readathon. So I'm very excited to read tomorrow because I really like want to finish this right now, but I'm holding myself back so I can finish it tomorrow, even though I really want to pick it up. So do with that info what you will. I'm really enjoying it. It's trash, and it's definitely Bridgerton knockoff, but I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning when I get to wake up, feel half dead, but pick this book up. Hey guys, it is again nighttime. I finished with Ruined this morning. I actually pressed snooze a little bit longer than I expected this morning because I was really tired because I stayed up last night. So when I woke up this morning, I totally forgot that I was doing this video, and then I slept in until like 5:20, I believe. And then I got up and I started filming without covering my hair, and then I said, wait, my hair isn't covered. And then I got up and I was like trying to find filming angles, which takes a little bit more of the time of me reading. I didn't get much reading done today, I feel like, which was really disappointing, but I did end up finishing with Ruined, and I think I'm giving this one 3.5 stars. It was really fun. It was kind of like watching a Bridgerton season, and I think the conflict was really nice, and I really liked the art style of this. I don't know if I would recommend it because you could just watch Bridgerton, and I feel like the first season and the second season of Bridgerton are so much better than reading this one. But if you feel like reading a graphic novel that has a Bridgerton feel, then I definitely recommend this one. It did have some moments that kind of warmed my heart, and it didn't take me long to read. Like you guys saw, I started it yesterday and then I finished it this morning, so it took me literally, I would say, about an hour in total, and it was very easy to read. If you're behind on your reading goal on the Goodreads challenge, then I definitely recommend this one. It was really fun, really entertaining, kept my attention, and it was really easy to follow along with while being up at 5 in the morning, because that is really necessary, because it's really hard to like wake up and like almost immediately jump into a book. It's really hard to like wake your brain up that way. I feel like it makes me a little bit more tired, which is something that I've noticed. It just makes me feel a little bit more like I'm ready to go to sleep now again, and I just woke up. So I don't know how that's gonna go, because I started with You Deserve Each Other, and this is by Sarah Hoggle, and I got on page 18, and I remember nothing of what I've read. So I think I'm going to have to start all over again tomorrow when I read tomorrow morning, because I just remember thinking that the main character is actually a horrendous person. From the opening of this book, she's just giving this negative energy, and I was reading it and I was like, am I really reading this, or am I in a fever dream right now? Because I wasn't sure if I was awake or if I was still asleep, or I just don't know. I just wasn't sure about what was going on. Hopefully that will be clarified when I read again tomorrow. I'm not sure if that will be. I don't know how many pages I'll be able to get in tomorrow, because so far I've only been reading graphic novels and mangas, so I don't know how I will fare with reading just text at 5 in the morning. We do have, tomorrow's Wednesday. We have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I think Friday will be the last day, because I started this on a Sunday. So I think Saturday or Friday will be the last day. So I don't know how I'm gonna fare with reading a book, like actual just text, for a full hour every day after I wake up. We'll find out tomorrow, because this is the book that I will be reading next. I don't know how long it will take me to get through it. I don't know how long it would take me to finish this book. Maybe I'll finish it Thursday, maybe I'll finish it Friday, and it will be just 4 books even. As for my thoughts about how this challenge has been going, I think it's been kind of easy. I expected it to be a lot harder, because I typically have been pressing snooze over and over again whenever I wake up in the morning, but it's helping me get up earlier and like press snooze a lot less. Like I only press snooze maybe once or twice, and maybe set like a 5-minute timer after I snooze, or after my first alarm at 5 a.m. I usually end up sleeping in until like 6:30 or 6 o'clock, and then wake up in a rush to get ready and go to work. But these days I've been just waking up and slowing down, and my body feels a little less stressed, because I also have a little bit of time after I read for that hour to like meditate and do whatever I need to do and get ready in a slower motion. So I do see the relevance of waking up and like not immediately getting on your phone, but I do find myself missing getting on my phone first thing in the morning, and just like laying in bed and preparing myself for work without having to put in the brain effort to like read first thing in the morning. Reading the minute that you get up is so difficult, because I feel like half of the time I'm not registering the words that I'm reading, because I'm just like so exhausted and my brain still hasn't caught up. And for the first half hour at least, and like having to find like a new angle to film or a new way to film, or with my cat being around as well, it's like trying not to wake up everybody else in the house as well. It takes a little bit of the time of me reading, so then it just feels like I'm trying to do so many things at once, which kind of also stresses me out at the same time. I do feel like if I wasn't filming and I was just reading for myself, then maybe it would be a little bit easier, because I'd be a little bit easier about it with myself. But because I'm doing it for this video, I feel like I'm doing like 30 things at once. Like I'm filming, finding new angles, actually trying to read, to have something to update you for, and it just feels like a lot is happening all at once. At the same time, I'm having a lot of fun. Like, I finished 3 books, I started another, and I'm reading really good books, I think, so far. All of the 3 that I've read so far have been really entertaining, really fun to read, really easy to read, and really easy to follow along with. And so I feel like it's been kind of successful, but like I said, now that I have a fully, like, just text book without actually like having something to look at while I'm reading, is going to be interesting. I don't know if it's going to put me to sleep, but we will find out tomorrow, and I'm very excited to do this for another day or for another 3 days technically. That's my thoughts so far. The halfway update, I guess, but not really, almost halfway. And I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Is it day 3 tomorrow or is it day 4? I did Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today was day 3. So I'll see you tomorrow for day 4. Today is day 4, and as you saw, I woke up and I did not press snooze as much as I usually do today. I actually was really like, just get up and do it so you can have more time afterwards to like sit for a bit and relax before you get ready. We had crazy fog this morning. I didn't film it because honestly it was so dark outside that you wouldn't even be able to see the fog outside, but my windows were like fogged up, and it was really, really nice to wake up in an ambience like that and just like sit and read for a little bit. It felt very, very nice. And actually, I am so happy to let you guys know I really got into the story of this book. I actually really wanted to continue reading it. I didn't want to stop reading it when I actually started. I started on page 18 and I read until page 72 today. It was really, really difficult to get actually in the story today because of how tired I was. And like I said, today is day 4 and I haven't pressed snooze. It was really difficult to like wake up from the fog from sleep and like get in the story again, but I really had a lot of fun reading today. It's about these 2 people who are engaged to each other, and neither of them want to call the engagement off, even though neither of them like the other still anymore. Like, they both hate each other, but neither of them wants to be the person to call off the wedding, and so they just continue to be horrible to each other and horrible to the people around them, and like, they're just horrendous people in a horrendous relationship. I would rather die and choke on like 18 million cacti than be in a relationship like this. But it's really fun to read about because it's just fun to see them and see how far they would go to piss off the other person. I think it's really entertaining and really funny in that sense. I'm not really sure if there's going to be a lot of romance in here. I'm not really sure where the story's going to go. Like I said, I'm only 72 pages in, so that's like barely even any percentage into the book, and this book is 300 and something pages. Yeah, like 367 pages. So it's going to take me a little bit longer. I think maybe I won't be done with it by Friday, but then I'll just read it myself Saturday, Sunday, and we'll be done from there. But really entertaining. I really actually enjoyed my time reading it this morning, and my cat sat with me, and it was really fun even though I was really, really exhausted. This has made me feel so energized and like so Like, I feel so much better about my reading now that I'm actually getting up in the morning and reading and picking up a book instead of being on my phone. And I don't get on my phone because right after I read, I have to get ready for work. And so I don't end up getting on my phone until like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I wake up at 5. So I feel like that's a good stretch of time, and I think I want to continue that on with the rest of my daily life, but we'll see. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Hopefully it's a little bit easier than today, and I'm very excited to see what my page count is going to be. I don't even know if you can see me right now, but if you can, just know I am so tired. I'm so tired, guys. Let's get back to it. It is day 5 today. This morning I read a little bit more of You Deserve Each Other. I believe I started on page 72 this morning, if I'm not mistaken. I was really tired this morning, and to be honest, I pressed snooze like a couple of times and I really didn't want to, but I was just so tired. It's been a very long week. It's been a very hectic week. It's been a very like anything that could potentially go wrong week. Everything went wrong. That type of week. And so I was just going through a lot, and thank God I got my reading out of the way early in the morning, and then like I didn't have to read anything for the rest of the day if I didn't want to, because I felt like I could not potentially get anything done because of how crazy and hectic this week has been. Anyways, I will tell you how much I read. This is how much I read this morning. I read from page 72 to a page 152. I'm surprised at the fact that I read that much, that like my usual pace, even though I was exhausted and really tired this morning. I had a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying the story. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, oh my god, the story is so fun. I want to continue reading because of how fun it is. And I am really enjoying the characters. It's a very funny book. It's funny in the way that the two characters are like the most horrible people I've ever read about, but they're so horrible to each other and they're not really hurting anyone else. And so for that reason, I really like it. They're beginning to go through some stuff that I'm like, I'm curious to see where it goes. And it's just been really fun to be able to wake up and get in the story. And by the time my hour is up, I've had so much fun reading it. And I've actually laughed out loud a couple of times this morning. And I think about it for the rest of the day. I have thought about it for the rest of the day today after I left and finished my hour. So it's very entertaining. I'm really enjoying my time reading this book, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it tomorrow, unfortunately, which is my last day of this challenge. Let me make a educated guess on where I'll end up. So I'm on page 152. I want to say I'll end up probably on page 230 tomorrow, which leaves like 120, 130 pages left of the rest of the book, and I will probably finish it outside of this challenge, maybe when I get home from work or something like that. I'm really excited to pick this up tomorrow. My camera is flashing because of the battery, so I'm gonna have to go, but just know that I'm really enjoying my time with this book, and I'm excited to see where it goes. want you to know that I read to page 260 on the last day of this challenge, which was yesterday. I didn't end up filming the outro until today because obviously I had work and I had things to do and it was Friday, so time really got away from me. But I want you to know that even though I got to page 260 when I finished the challenge, I did end up finishing this book, and I finished it in like right after I finished filming and I actually got to work. I sat down and I just binged the entirety of the rest of the book, and I loved it, absolutely adored it. I gave it 5 stars because it was so fun to read and it was such a fun experience to follow a story for like a lot of days, because usually I tend to finish my books between 1 and 2 days, and so I don't typically spend a lot of time with books. But this one I spent like 3 days with, which was really, really fun. I had a lot of fun. It was really entertaining, really interesting to read, and such a different story from everything else that I've read, all the other romances. So very much recommend, and 5 stars. Really, really loved it. And yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. I finished the 2 Fangirl volumes, loved them, adored them, so much fun. And I finished the Ruined graphic novel as well, and then I read, like, I want to say 3/4 of You Deserve Each Other, and it was a very, very fun reading week. I had the best time. It was so entertaining, so fun, and I really found myself slowing down in my day-to-day life. Like this morning I woke up and I didn't have to read, and it felt very weird because the challenge is over, but I still wanted to read, and I think it reset my mind on how quickly I read books. I really enjoyed this challenge, and I definitely will be implementing it more in my day-to-day life because I think it's very necessary. And yeah, I had the best time. I hope you had the best time watching this video. I know it's a little bit different than usual because I didn't talk a lot in the morning, if at all, and that was mostly because everyone else in my house is asleep and it was dark, and some days I really didn't want to read and some days I really wanted to read. And with that being said, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed this video by clicking the thumbs up button or commenting down below if you've read any of these books, what your thoughts of them are, and if you would ever do this challenge. And yeah, I hope you have the very best day. Treat yourself to something nice, and I'll see you guys again next week with another video. Goodbye!